All right, y'all, we're back. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody who supports the channel. You know, who got it. Thank you. Okay. So, y'all, I heard this. And it reminded me of Robert Kelly. It reminded me of Michael Jackson. This reminded me a lot of, a lot of things. So I just want to play this clip and we're gonna talk. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Okay.
Explain his own background in the whole Rihanna situation. I think that was a very smart move.
That was after me.
That was after me. Okay, no, I think that was a very smart move. And what I liked about his situation is that he proved you could come back after being canceled.
You know, it's funny because at like your station, no one would play him on the radio.
Yeah.
And at that point, you had to have radio. There were no DSPs and different other platforms for you to use, to break. No TikTok. Twitter wasn't even around, really. It was just starting. So it was hard to try and get him, over that hump or get people to change their minds because before it happened, everyone loved him. Kids, parents were dropping their kids off at hotels like, go get Chris Brown. Go get him. And I'm like, if you don't put your daughter back in your car, stop. Yeah. Like parents were sending their kids to the hotel. It was that bad because he was a sweetheart to the world. Right? Yeah. So they were like, he's a good kid. I want you to marry this kid. Go get him.
This is a beautiful Black woman. I just want to say that. She's gorgeous. So I love me a good chocolatey, smooth skinned Black lady with a nice shortcut. So two things. One thing is, yes, people are insane. People are literally willing to put their children in harm's way for fame and money. However, it does not negate the fact that a lot of celebrities harm people. They assault people. They hit. They force sex on people. This happens, right? So absolutely, it's true that people were dropping their kids off at R. Kelly concerts. People are pushing their kids out to go and try to, get that coochie to Chris Brown. This is not out of the norm when you think about what marriage is really supposed to be about. And I say that because it's based off of what it was originally about, which is about wealth and growing, right? It's not about love. It just became about love. I want to say 70s, 80s. That's when marriage becomes about, oh, I love them. It was not about that. It was about families joining so that they can grow in wealth, right? So when people see a Chris Brown, oh yeah, girl, go get that good man. It was the same thing as when my mama saw Boosie at the mall and was like, he trying to talk to you, go talk. I'm like, fucking trying to talk to Boosie. Because all you see is some Black man with money. And you think that a Black man with money is going to be safe for your daughter because you're not thinking about the things that can happen to her being around somebody who's a fucking violent degenerate. So I'm looking at the parents like, y'all really need to unwrap y'all minds from the way y'all think about using your daughters as bargaining chips. Yeah. Using, and not even just using your daughter as a bargaining chip, because to be clear, what happened with me and my mom is not the same, but it's the same mentality. But it's not the same. My mama would never drop me off at some nigga's hotel room, like, go fuck this nigga and bring him home. No, that's not what happened. We was at the mall, and he stopped traffic to try to holler at me. And the fact that he had a nice car, he had buku nice cars behind him, and he stopped traffic to come and talk to me outside of the Cortana Mall. My mama was like, well, go talk to him then. Because at the end of the day, my mama above everything is like, don't bring no broke nigga home. Okay? Listen, make sure they got a little something, education, money, something. Don't come around here with no big belly talking about you ain't know what you supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Okay? Different situation, but still same mindset. You don't know who these people are, but you think because they're a man with money, they somehow, all of the fear goes out of your mind. You know what I'm saying? So this shit right here is so bothersome to me. But at the same time, I feel like her saying it, girl, shut up. I feel like her saying it in this interview, is a way to make it seem as if it's everybody and it's not Chris Brown. I'm gonna let her finish. But it makes it seem as if because parents are willing to exchange their daughters for fame and fortune, which has always been the case when you look at historically what marriage is, people were always willing to sell their children to another family, sell their daughter to a family, to an old man, to somebody, so that they can have a better life. That was always what this was set up to be, right? It's not that far-fetched, but it's fucking crazy for you to do when you really care about your kids. However, does it change the fact that these niggas are still unsafe? Yeah, she's trying to victimize Chris, like make it seem as if, do you see how these young girls were throwing themselves at him? Does that change the fact that he's accused of assaulting some people and beating people's asses? We have him on camera in a picture choking a girl out, and y'all tried to act like it was a joke after. Him on video talking about Karuchi, if you mind, you always mind. A lot of y'all toxic bitches think that shit cute until a nigga banging your head up beside the fucking concrete.
You know,
but people don't know that parents do that a lot. Yeah, they don't know. Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
and and fortunately, his mom, and all of us, we were not down with that. We were like, no, take your child and leave. We'd have security handle it. But the
to me that sounds no different. Y'all remember like on was it The Princess and the Pea? The Princess and the Pea fairy tale. You have all of these princesses from all over the world to come and vie for this prince and the throne, right? So it's all these princesses and they all show up and they have to go through these tests and the prince, picks a princess. Y'all, people have been putting this shit in people's minds through fairy tales and all of that. So, I'm just saying, y'all, think about it. Think about it. It's really not that different from fairy tales that you used to read or watch.
What was we talking? I'm sorry, I missed the point.
No, it's
you know why you missed the point? Because you were trying to victimize him and try to make it seem as if he was just some innocent person in all of this. That's why you're confused about what the fuck you were talking about. Let's get to
I was saying, how he made his comic with Deuces and nobody was playing it on the radio.
So before. The radio, yeah. So what we decided was we needed to figure out a way to get him back on radio.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that we did it was we put him on features for everything. Anybody that called us, he jumped on it. It was a feature on everything. And meanwhile, Tyga stood next to him. He was the only one that would stand right next to him and do videos and everything else with him, right?
You mean Tyga, the one who was with Kylie Jenner when she was a teenager? You mean him? Such a stand-up guy. Don't you love when... Girl. The predators protecting the predators. One of the predators saw he was a predator and was like, I'm gonna stand with him. So
he started doing mixtapes. You remember they were doing mixtapes and stuff like that. And Tyga introduced him to Colin, who was a video director who was just starting at the time, Colin Tilley. And so Chris and I started finding new producers, finding new writers. We had Joel James and Seven Streeter and Kevin. And Kevin played him Deuces, and we were like,
and we all remember Deuces. I'm moving on to something better. No more trying to make it work. Made me want to say bye-bye, say bye-bye, say bye-bye to her. Y'all. Listen, I get it. At the end of the day, Chris Brown is a great artist. I love his music for the most part. But I still feel like he is violent and out of control based on the shit that's come out of his mouth. Based on the shit that has come out of Chris Brown's mouth, the things we've actually seen him do. So even though, yes, there definitely needs to be looking at parents that are willing to sell their children to celebrities, because that is obviously a thing. Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, it's obviously a thing. It does not mean that the celebrities aren't predators. See what I'm saying? Two things can be true. Two things can be true. Oh, Lord. She says she's his ex-manager. I wonder why you're not his manager anymore. Is it because you can't control him and he's always doing some stupid shit? Because, y'all, let's not forget the Tiana Taylor shit was recent. The Tiana Taylor Usher situation was recent. Also, how old do niggas need to get out of the gang life thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, how old do we need to be in order for us to stop throwing up, girl, listen, that ain't my business. I'm gonna leave it alone. That ain't my business, girl. If y'all want to be out here, gang set for the rest of y'all life, y'all business. Shout out to Chris Brown, though. You got back on it. He got back on the radio, and he has not gotten off the radio since. He has not gotten off the radio since. So shout out to him and all of the people that like him. I just, I want people to be wary. If you hear stories about a celebrity, please don't drop your child off to their hotel room like a fucking crackhead. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, in all honesty, I would, any parent that just dropped their kid off at a hotel, I would have called the police on that parent, because this is child endangerment. R. Kelly was a victim. He was not a victim. R. Kelly was not a victim. If somebody is buying young girls, they're not a victim, sweetheart. Just because the parents are trying to manipulate the predator, it doesn't mean that he's still not a predator. I need y'all to get that. I need y'all to get that. Okay, I know a lot of y'all might disagree with me about this, but I'm telling y'all right now, Chris Brown has a long history of being violent and acting crazy. And it does not change the fact that those parents, somebody should have called the police on the parents. Somebody should have called the police on the parents. But that's not surprising. Do you know how many people are willing to give their children to predators as long as the predators have money? Oh, another fairy tale. Beauty and the Beast, bitch. Beauty and the goddamn Beast. We used to love Beauty and the Beast growing up. What happened with Beauty and the Beast? What happened? Belle was sent to live with the Beast in his house because of something that the daddy did. She was trying to protect her old ass daddy. So she goes to live with a Beast in a mansion when he locking her in rooms and talking to her crazy and shit and throwing her all around. Okay? The fairy tales that we have been watching for years have been putting these types of themes in our minds. Think about it. Why would you think that's okay? Because you've seen shit like that play out in a Disney cartoon, and subconsciously it's in your mind somewhere that it's okay and it'll all work out if you give your daughter to a fucking monster as long as the monster has money. Girl, you know what? That's what's about to be next. Now that we're grown, the Disney edition. Because I have not felt moved about anything. But I promise y'all, I'm about to sit down and watch some Disney movies and we're going to see what I feel. Because that's what really needs to be now that we're grown. Okay?